Good afternoon. Welcome to Africa Today. I am Jessica Magaji Joseph. First, the headlines. Presidency defends Tinubu as federal government slashes ministers' vehicle aid. Mozambique's ruling party wins disputed polls. Congo president draws criticism over constitutional reforms plan. And on sport news, WAFO Under-20 Championship, Flying Eagles will play better against Niger, says coach Zubairu. And now the news in detail. President Bola Tinubu's cabinet reshuffled on Wednesday, which had Ogun State reportedly producing 4 ministers, the highest by a state in the cabinet, has sparked reactions across the country. In a significant cabinet shake-up during the 19th Federal Executive Council meeting at the State House, Abuja, Tinubu approved the reassignment of 10 ministers to new portfolios, discharged 5 others, and nominated 7 new ministerial appointees for onward transmission to the Senate for confirmation. The 7 new ministers, pending their confirmation by the Senate, are Jumoke Oduwole as Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Netawe Yewatsa as Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Mohammed Dingyadi as Minister of Labour and Employment, Bianca Odumegu Ojoku as Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Idi Meya as Minister of Livestock Development, Yusuf Atta as Minister of State, Housing and Urban Development, and Suweiba Ahmed as Minister of State for Education. The backlog of pensions owed by the federal and state government have increased to over 193 billion naira, although several states such as Zamfara, Benue, Kaduna, Kano, Nasarawa, and others have been clearing the backlogs. It was gathered that the federal government had yet to clear over 88 billion naira in contributory pensions, while many states were burdened by pension backlog estimated at over 105 billion naira. The spokesman for the National Union of Pensioners, Bumi Ogunkolade, confirmed to newsmen that the federal government had yet to clear 88 billion naira accrued right under the contributory pension scheme from March 2023 to date. A helicopter by East Wind Aviation crashed into the Atlantic Ocean near Port Harcourt, Rivers State on Thursday, killing 3 persons. The Military National Emergency Management Agency and emergency locators immediately began search operations for the passengers of the helicopter. The aircraft, conveying workers of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, ditched into the ocean, and no one was yet to have come out alive from the incident as of the time of filing the report. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, confirmed the unfortunate incident to correspondent through a statement signed by the head of press and public relations of the ministry, Odutayo Oluseyi. When we return, news from other parts of West Africa. Please stay with us.
This is Hillstv. Quality broadcasting is what we'll bring to you. Now we be this
Hillstv, Polka.
As the new globe marks World Polio Day, Africa has recorded 134 new polio cases in at least 7 countries, the World Health Organization announced. The regional director of the WHO for Africa, Mashidiso Moeti, stated that the circulating variant of polio type 2 has been detected in Burkina Faso, Cameroon, the Central African Republic, Chad, Mali, Niger, and Nigeria. In 2023, 541 children worldwide were impacted by polio, with 85% residing in 31 countries that are fragile, conflict-affected, and vulnerable, reported by a recent UNICEF analysis on World Polio Day. Over the last 5 years, polio cases in these regions have more than doubled, and routine childhood immunization rates have decreased from 75 to 70%, significantly lower than the 95% required for community immunity. Thanks for staying with us. And now to other African nations. Burkina Faso joined Mali, Senegal, Somalia, Sudan, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo to condemn the heinous terrorist attack on the strong commitment to combating terrorism in all its forms. Turkey's President Tayyip Erdogan expressed gratitude to all support following the heinous terrorist act in Ankara on Wednesday. He stated that this despicable attack has only reinforced Turkey's commitment to eradicate terrorism. Burkina Faso President Ibrahim Traoré expressed his sympathy and support for the Turkish people, and President Recep Tayyip Erdogan firmly denouncing the cowardly and brutal Daniel Chapo, who replaced President who is stepping down after the maximum 2 terms. Frelimo has ruled the country since its independence from Portugal in 1975, and the Poles were widely expected to return to power. The Electoral Commission said Chapo had won 70% of the votes. His closest challenger, Venancio Mondlane, who was backed by an opposition party, were now in the announcement of the result. European Union election observer cast doubt on the integrity of the poll, saying it did not meet international standards. They said there had been irregularities during counting and unjustified alterations of election results. Up next is business news. Please stay with us.
This is Hillstv.
Welcome back. And now on business news, the International Fusiri, Division Chief of the IMS Fiscal Affairs Department, emphasized the need for Nigeria to adopt more effective revenue mobilization strategies to ease this financial burden. Fusiri noted that Nigeria debt service to revenue ratio stands at around 60%, significantly constraining the government's ability to invest in social and economic programs. Although the debt service to GDP ratio has declined from nearly 100% to 60%, he stressed that the country must further reduce the share of its revenue allocated to debt repayment by focusing on broadening its tax base. South Africa's rand weakened early trade on Friday, while local investors geared up for the country's midterm budget next week. The rand traded at 17.675 against the dollar, about 0.2% softer than its previous close. Traded about 0.02% firmer against its basket of currencies. While little domestic data on the rand on Friday, the risk sensitivity rand will likely take direction from movement in the green bar. Still to come is sport news. Please stay with us.
This is Hillstv. Quality broadcasting is what we'll bring to you. Now we be this
Hillstv, Polka.
Welcome back. And now on sport, Flying Eagles head coach Aliyu Zubairu has promised an improved performance from his team at the ongoing WAFB Under-20 Championship in Togo. The defending champions sealed the place in the semi-finals after a hard-fought 2-1 victory over Cote d'Ivoire at the Confederation of African Football has unveiled its much-anticipated shortlist for the 2024 men's player Ademola Lookman and William Truss Ekong among the distinguished nominees. However, a post by CAF on Thursday via X disclosed that informed striker Victor Boniface and reigning title holder Victor Osimhen were notably absent from the final selection. The 10-man presence with Morocco's defensive powerhouse Achraf Hakimi and Sophia and Guinea Serhou Guirassy is following outstanding performance throughout the year. Completed the list are Burkina Faso's Edmond Tepsoba and South Africa's Roman Williams, reflecting the breadth of talent across the Africa. Move to the rest of the news after this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back. Political crisis and unrest. Felix was sworn into the office in January after a contested re-election in December for his second and final term. On Wednesday, he set out plans to look at revising the constitution, saying the current constitution ratified by referendum in 2005 does not align with the country's current realities. Polls. Congo's president, Felix, draws criticism over constitutional reform plans. And on sports, WAFO Under-20 Championship, Flying Eagles will play better against Niger, says coach Zubairu. Remember to visit us on Facebook at Hillstv.